Hello everyone, before the video starts, I do want to say that this video was going to be way longer and it was going to involve me being like, oh well, this was my experience and everything and it was so great, but I just want this video out right now. But before the video starts, I want to give some advice. Do not get into romantic or sexual relationships with your voice actors or just any of your staff. That is very, very, very unprofessional. And if you do have a relationship with some of your staff that goes beyond like a point of platonic, then make sure that you are able to, or just not even platonic, make sure you are able to separate the friendship or relationship that you have from the relationship you have in work. I think that was one of the problems that we had with ZNT. Gumi does talk about this a little bit, but I do think just being able to separate the relationships and then also not having people that you have feelings for or something in your cast, which I just don't recommend that because, that ends up to having, like, you have to remove some of your cast members if that feeling ever goes more than like or something and just ends up bad. Okay, that's all. Hopefully you enjoyed the video.
I signed my my contract before this. It's okay.
You want to introduce yourself at all?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Gumidachi. I previously had a gacha series that I was working on called Zetsubo no tsurigane, or ZNT. That was unfortunately canceled probably around a week ago, and I'm here with Mord.
Welcome to my lair.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm here.
So I just have a few questions for you. Shouldn't take too long. If there's any questions that you don't want to answer, just let me know. And Okay. So my first question is, do you think you'll ever make like a public announcement or make like a separate video explaining why you stopped ZNT at all?
Probably. I don't really want to leave like everyone in the dark on like just like where did she go, and I don't plan on necessarily dropping off like my channel. So I would like to, tell everyone like exactly what happened and give them a little bit of context, although probably not as much as I put in the cast server on like why I made the decision that I made.
Yeah.
So yeah.
My next question is, what was your main inspiration for making ZNT? Do you think you have one?
Okay. That's a tough one. I think at the time there were, so the actual story-wise for ZNT, my biggest inspirations I'd say were Death Note and Future Diary. Future Diary was like my favorite thing in the world, like at the time, and I was just like, oh my god, like I don't want to say cool because she's not cool, but I thought the idea of creating and like telling a story with a character like was cool. And at the time, like, I can't lie, like, me and Emadow Lunar, if you guys don't know her, I don't know if any of, like, the people watching, like, if all of you know who I am prior, but Emadow is a background artist or was going to be for ZNT, and she was one of my close online friends, and at the time, she had created a voice-acted series, or started to, so I was kind of inspired a bit by her to, like, kind of want to do a similar thing, which I don't think I told her, so
Aww.
I hope if you're watching this, like, I hope, like, I want her to know that, like, she really inspired me. So yeah, probably that.
Aww. That's so sweet. Okay, do you think you'll ever start up a project? Like, do you think you'll ever, like, restart the project or ever add on to more of ZNT, more of the lore?
I'm not sure. I mean, I can't say for sure, like, whether or not 5-10 years down the line, I can't say any of that, like, right, like, I might do it in a completely other capacity if I go into, like, let's say I go into some sort of creative field and I am trying to think of some sort of story and I might base it loosely. I can't really say for sure. I would like to at some point, maybe once I'm a little bit older and I have you know, like I don't know, when I'm able to, you know, have more control over my own life,
Yeah.
I'd like to maybe do something more on the animation side rather than like the gacha
Ooh,
side of
yeah.
things. Yeah, yeah, but as of right now, I don't really have any plans to do anything continuing with Z&T.
Yeah, I was watching the music or like music intro, and I was like, oh my god, because I
Yeah.
remember like you watch it, like you screen sharing like the walking animation for Aoi in the beginning.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, I can't do this.
Oh my. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. Like, oh my gosh, like it was a really good experience. Like, I'm glad that I, you know, like I learned a lot of like problem solving. Like, I learned a lot about like how to do things when I was like working on Z&T. So I don't regret it one bit.
Yeah. Will you continue posting gacha content or ever make any other sort of videos like gaming or something like that, or like behind the scenes?
Gacha content or just anything on Gumidachi in general, I'm debating on. Honestly, at this point, the main thing that's stopping me, and this is gonna sound like kind of funny, is the fact that a lot of my IRLs, and I didn't think about this, a lot of my IRLs do know my channel, and
really?
like the big hiatus that I've had, I'm gonna be honest, has had a lot to do with worrying about what they're going to think when I post.
Aw.
Like, it's not, it's bad. Like, I don't know. It's just like maybe I will eventually, but if I'm being completely honest with you guys, I do have a few secret TikTok accounts and a few secret YouTubes that I have posted things on. So I can't lie to you and say that I'm quitting YouTube and TikTok completely. So if you hear someone with a similar voice or, you know, it may be me.
Similar style. You're like, seems pretty.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen that before. Okay. This is kind of like a two-part question. I'll ask that and then get your answer, and then I'll ask the second part. What was one of your favorite memories working on Z&T?
I'm gonna have to think for a second.
Meeting me.
Oh. Okay, wait. I think I know. I think my absolute favorite memory, or this would kind of be like two, would be casting for the second time was a little bit more stressful. For the very first time, I remember casting gave me so much, like, I was so excited, like, oh my god, I have the whole world in front of me, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna meet all these people, and these are the people that are gonna bring my story to life, and it was my first time ever doing anything like that. And my second favorite was the first episode read through, and the second one was fun too, but the first one, it was just the first time I'd ever done anything like that.
Yeah.
And I just remember how excited I was, like, to hear like the
characters
that I
come to
wrote
life.
and worked on for, like, it was amazing. Like, I think after that, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I think I like teared up a bit, like, after. I was like, oh my god, I did it. Like, it was amazing. So I think probably those two things I couldn't really pick between.
Yeah, I like, because I joined around August, like last year August.
I can't remember. I think I might have been, but like I think I like would peek into the voice call, but I was also like very nervous because like I didn't know anyone. Yeah, no, I remember. Only knew Yodel. I remember. Yeah, and then here I am.
Okay, and then the second part of the question is, if you have had any fan interactions, what was your favorite?
So this was before I think this was right around when I met Cherry.
Really?
And Cherry X Violet, she was another voice actor in Z&T. And I remember when I met Cherry, she said that she showed some of the videos from the project to one of her friends or whatever, and her friend was saying, like, she was glazing me, okay? She was saying like all this like really nice stuff. Oh yeah, her friend and a little bit Cherry were saying a bunch of really nice things about like how much they liked like my animation style and stuff, which was something that I worked really hard on. So that really made me happy. But honestly, like, that's just one thing I can think off the top of my head. Like, I don't really remember too much, but I just remember that made me happy.
Aww. Was there anything you wish that you did differently while working on Z&T?
Oh my god, a million things. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try to list out a few.
Okay.
So, I think that to start with, and this isn't the biggest thing, but I should have had more scripts done. When I started the project, I think like when I casted everyone, I had about half of the first episode done, and it took me a good month to get finished.
Yeah.
Also, I wasn't working on enough things. I feel like simultaneously. Like I feel like a lot of the storyboards, which were still being worked on up to like the time my project was canceled, I feel like I could have been working on those way earlier. Like I feel like I could have been doing those since the beginning. Like because you don't necessarily need voice acting for that. Like I feel like storyboarding and scripting, like you need to start preparing for endgame way sooner than you think. I feel like, and I didn't know that. I also feel like I should have. I can't even. I feel like I just had really bad luck. I feel like you need to find a really good audio engineer and just keep them because I have the biggest struggle. Like if anyone here listening to this wants to create their own project, do not skimp on the audio engineer. Find a good one. Find one who you're friends with, so you know they're not going to ghost you one day, because that is probably one of the #1 reasons that I struggled to work on my project, is because the amount of audio issues that we had and finding people to work on it. And I really struggled with editing it. It was just not my thing. But yeah, probably finding a good audio engineer. I should have storyboarded earlier, and I should have started scripting earlier.
Yeah, I think with scripting, I run into that problem so much, especially with DBT. Like, I talk to Noah like on and on, but then off and on. But then like when I'm like talking to Matthew's VA, I'm like, it's like months later. Hey, I have another script. Do you still want to be working on this project? And I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, you kind of want to be able to release more of them at a time so you can be sure that they're going to get done, because you never know who's going to do it at random times. Like, life just happens.
Yeah. Do you think you'll ever join a different gacha series? And then if so, what would your preferred role be? Like, do you want to be like an animator, scriptwriter, anything like that?
If I were... I feel like the only way I'd really ever join another gacha series would be if it was like one that I knew like for 100% sure was already or was going to be successful. Like if Rosie Closey or like Gacha Mika or whatever approached me right now, like I would be like, yeah. But otherwise than that, like I don't know if I really would. Just because I feel like a lot of people thought that mine was going to be successful and it didn't even end up making it to fruition. So I just like, I feel like I don't really know. But either way, I feel like if I were, I would want to do something more on the writing side. I don't know. I feel like writing was probably the most fun part for me when it came to Z&T. And it also moved the quickest. I did have a lot of fun animating, don't get me wrong, but I feel like writing was the best for me.
Yeah. I really, like, I think, like, looking at your scripts, I really like looking at them because it's so easy to, like, understand with, like, blocking and everything, and you're, like, seeing this, seeing that, seeing that, and then, like, yeah.
I remember the beginning ones for mine were a mess, too. I just looked at a lot of, like, I looked at other people's scripts, I got feedback, like, I think you and Noah really helped me try to figure out what was like most. Noah, Awie's voice actor. I think you and Noah really helped me like try to figure out like what I wanted to like focus on when it came to scripts, like the actions that the characters were taking, or like just stuff along those lines and how I wanted to format it.
Aww. I'm smiling right now. Is there anything that you want to say, or like, I don't know, like if you have like any questions you think people will want to know?
First off, I think, and I kind of already touched on this a bit, I think that if anyone out there wants to start a project, even if it's not gacha, I feel like you need to consider a few things, and more, you definitely will know stuff about this too.
Yeah.
I feel like if you want to start a project, you need to consider, this one's gonna sound kind of odd, but where you want to be, like even like a year or two from now, and think about not only the project but yourself, because if you don't see yourself, like if you see yourself changing, like you're like, I want to do this, and I want to have this many friends, and I want to join this many clubs, but I also want a gigantic gacha series with 50,000 or 500,000 like viewers, you're gonna have to pick. Like you can't really have both. So I feel like you really need to think about, can I handle this workload? Because that's, I feel like, why so many gacha series especially, but just a lot of projects in general die, is because people's lives like mine kind of get in the way. So I feel like you need to think about yourself. And another thing is you want to think about the types of people that you want involved in your project. You need to make sure that you have people who are going to get things done. Like,
Yeah.
100%. I feel like you want to make an effort to get to know a lot of your customers, which I loved doing. I loved getting to know, like, every single person in the ZNT cast. Like, oh my god, there were so many, like, hardworking, amazing people. Like, it was, like, insane. I don't know how I got everyone together. Like, I don't know how I did that. Like, actually. So, like, I feel like you really need to make an effort to get to know people, like, before, but also after. Yeah, like, for sure. And I'd say, this is more before, last thing, I'd say, just think about what you want to do to also make yourself different. This is very specifically, like, a lot of this is very specific to gacha, this specifically. Sorry, specific. Oh my god. But I feel like there's so much, like, blah blah academia, blah blah academy, or now there's a lot of ones about, like, vacationing, like,
Oh,
or
really?
like camp or whatever. Sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of them, like, new servers, just like, yeah. So I feel like you want to think about what is going to make you different. Like, are you going to have a new animation style? Like, who am I thinking of? Jessica Gacha. Her, I'm trying to, she had 2 series. I can't remember either of them, but if you know who I'm talking about, you know what I mean. She had a very, like, frame by frame, like, handmade style that, like, I really, really, really liked. And if I could replicate, I would. And that really set her apart. Or you can think about story-wise, like, the themes or the messages that you want to convey that are different from other people. Like, how is Unbounded different from the Music Freaks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like you just want to, before you even start, just think about how can I be different? Because you may not think that it matters, but it really will, because I feel like that's also what drew a lot of people to my project was seeing, like, how it was a little bit, like, I mean, everyone's different in some way, but I think people liked what I had going with, like, the story and stuff, which is why I got so many, like, amazing cast members and people who were interested.
I feel like with so many projects, or, like, so many video games, like, even with, like, this is kind of a bad example, but with, like, Yandere Simulator, you see, like, that's a big, like, they're like, oh, I really like that game, I hate the developer, so then I'm gonna make a game like that, but then, like, you keep making games like that, but then you're not really getting almost the originality that comes from, like, making your original idea.
Yeah, no, for sure, I see that a lot, exactly, like, you're like, I'm gonna do that my own way, but then you forget, like, why would people pick my way over, like, like, even if people hate Yandev, they're not gonna go to every single, like, remake of Yandere Simulator like that. Like, you need to think about what's gonna make yours different, so for sure. I'd say when it comes, so when you're dealing with a cast for a project, whether you have, like, 10 people, like, you have just voice actors, maybe 1 audio engineer. I'm telling you, unless you don't know how to work with audio, get an audio engineer. Unless you do. Learn how to handle conflict. I feel like I was bad at that.
I feel like
you need to
that happened.
There was quite a few situations, I will say. I think you just need to learn how to separate yourself from, hey, these people are my friends, to I am a director and these people are crew. You know, it's hard because you're like, oh my god, I'm not paying these people. Like this is on Discord, right? This is like this isn't professional. But I think you kind of just need to separate yourself, even if you have those thoughts, and just think, we are trying to get something done. If I treat this as a hangout over, like, I don't know, like a project, I feel like it's
like
just not going to go well.
Almost.
Exactly. So I feel like when it comes to conflict, like, you can't be afraid, like, oh my god, this person is going to hate me if I tell them this, which I definitely was. So it's hard. It's hard to get into the mindset. I just think that you need to learn how to kind of stick up for yourself, and that is just something you cannot avoid, like, at all. Like, it's going to happen, no matter who you are, no matter what. Some of the sweetest people I know have had, like, just things of that sort happen around them and happen to them, and it happens. So just, you need to learn how to stick up for yourself, for sure.
Yeah. Oh wait, I do have a question for you that I thought of. Was ZNT your first ever, I would say, casted project with, like, voice actors and everything?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yes, it was.
I still have that screenshot of the really old Aoi design. Do you know?
No. Yes. Oh no.
Aoi.
I will say we did have character redesigns towards the end, and I will say that like having to re-rig everyone was kind of a pain in the butt.
I can imagine.
But you know, if the series or if the pilot had come to fruition, I think it would have been worth it. I think they would have looked a little bit better stylistically, but it didn't. So now it just kind of seems like I wasted time. But if it had come to fruition, guys, trust me, you would have liked it better.
I feel like just like being a part of a project like that, it brings you so much more, like you don't even really realize what happens. You're just like, ooh, I wonder like when the pilot episode is gonna come out. But then like being a part of it, you see so much of like the bells and whistles that goes into making the whole project, and it's just like, oh my gosh. Before the video continues, I just want to show some of the bells and whistles that I'm talking about. This will just be some storyboards and then some scrapped pieces of the pilot.
Thankfully, for 6 more months, I'm free to do whatever I like. Thus, I began my 10-year period of homeschooling and solitude, up on the mountain, locked away from everyone else. Barely ever allowed to leave my room. What a life, right?
Nice try. I'm not scared of worms.
Guess we probably have more fun with Aoi, huh?
No, I don't really care for bugs much either. I should really get home. My parents are probably waiting for me.
I don't know, Aoi. I think I remember you talking about how much you loved them once.
What? I don't know what you're...
Plus, you look like you could use some protein.
Okay, now we are going back to the actual video. I hope you enjoyed all that content. Hopefully I credited everyone correctly. If I didn't, please let me know. And also support everyone that was included in those clips, please.
Like the people on the outside, I'm sure the few people who have actually been like waiting, who like weren't in the cast of, are just wondering like what's going on.
Yeah.
Wow, there's this whole operation. Like it also gave me like an insight into like, obviously nothing compared to like actual like movies or shit, but it just makes me think like while we're all twiddling our thumbs, when's the next Wicked coming out? When's the next Squid Games coming out or whatever? Like they're busting their butts trying to get. Like it's insane to think about. So for sure, like even within like the crew, like when like I'm not talking to you guys, like I don't know what you're doing, and like vice versa, like you guys don't know what I'm up to when I'm not online. Like it's just like you never really you just never know like what people are doing or what they're up to unless they like tell you. So yeah, for sure.
Do you have a favorite character from the D&T? Not trying to be biased.
Not trying to be biased. Well, I mean, two in different areas. Aoi was my favorite to work with, hands down. You know, he was my goat. Okay, but I'd say personality-wise, like when I like got to like, I don't know, just like hearing. I don't know, when I heard Perry VA was Haji's VA. Haji was my favorite, like design-wise personality. Like I loved hearing Perry just like she didn't really get to do much with Haji, I will admit, but just like hearing her like interact with her like a few times, like oh my god, I loved Haji and I was really excited to get to work with her more. So it's a shame that it had to come to an end, but I'd say Haji and Aoi were probably my favorites.
Yeah, I love seeing. I think you probably would feel the same way, but it's like when you have like so many characters in the works for so long and then they finally get voice actors and then you sit down with the voice actor and you're like, okay, let's record, and then you just hear the character come to life.
Oh
it's
my,
like
that was
so
exactly
surreal.
how I felt. That was exactly how I felt when I met oh my god, Noah and Chad. Like oh my god, Chad Fui's voice actor.
Noah Mangear.
I was freaking. I remember, I'll never forget this. I think the first time I ever did like any sort of like hearing Noah voice act Aoi, it was just, I think, it was just me and him. Emadow might have been there. It wasn't like a formal read through because I had like an extra script I gave him when he was trying to get the feel for like playing him. I remember I had this big ass bag of popcorn. It was from the Dollar Tree. It's like that really crappy buttery stuff. Yeah. And I went through like half of it. I was just laying in my bed. Or like, no, I was sitting up because I had like my iPad, like it's a magic keyboard. And I was sitting up eating some of the buttery popcorn ever. I finished off like half the bag while he was doing it. And it's just like such a memory. I remember how happy I was. I remember I was like, oh my God, it sounded so cool. And I got the popcorn like a few weeks ago and like I instantly remembered it. And I was like, oh my gosh. It was like a year ago, nostalgia. So no, yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, like I just remember like seeing them come to life is like awesome.
Okay. Do you have a favorite? Did you have a favorite voice actor to work with at all?
Ooh, I don't know.
If you want to be private, I'll cut it out the video.
Oh yeah, off the record here. Off the record. Off the record. I think my favorite. Even though. Okay. Oh, it's tough. Wait, that's tough. No, because I don't know. Because I'm like between like 3 people right now.
Well, you can just say your top 3. I'll still cut it out.
Only because. Okay. Wait. Oh no. Okay. Oh, this is so hard. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just gonna name off a few of them. Okay. Obviously Noah is up there. I worked with Noah a lot. Yeah. Okay, Chad was awesome to work with. I feel like it was really easy getting her lines. Like 99% of the time it was like, oh my god, so clean, so easy, so quick. Like, oh my god, my goat. Working with, oh my god. Wait, brain fart.
I'm waiting.
Well, I know the voice actor, but I'm forgetting his online. Oh, Fusion. Oh my god, Fusion was like.
Wait,
I don't know what it was. He was always just so like. Hero.
Oh, him.
He was always so like energetic and like happy. Like oh my god, bro, you are giving me energy, bro. You are my goat. Like I loved working with him, and I always obviously really liked working with like you, and I'd say really like working with Gary too. You guys were always just so like, do you need another take? I can do another take. You guys were just so easy to like do things with. Like if I needed anything, like oh no worries, I got it. Like for sure. And there are a million other people I could name off.
Do you have any last words before you die?
I just want to say thank you. You know, to you and to like anyone from the cast and anyone who ever watched like any of my videos who's listening. Like, even though it didn't come to fruition, I still got to make a lot under like ZNT, like with videos, and I still got to do a lot of stuff with the voice acting. Like, I still made videos with like pretty much all of the main voice actors. There were like there weren't like all of them didn't get featured, but a lot of them did. I still got to, you know, work with an amazing cast, and I learned so much about so many things while working with it. And you guys just like. ZNT gave me like almost like an anchor, like a lot of like this year over school, like when I was like upset or whatever, like it allowed me to have a place where like I could like I felt like I was good at, you know, like animating, or I was good at like doing certain things, so it made me feel like on the days where I wasn't feeling too good about myself, like I was like, you know, worth something. You guys were always really nice like to me, and it like made me feel really good that I had like friends that like I don't know, you guys are just like always there. Like I'm just like really happy that I had the chance to like work with everyone, and even though like I said it didn't get to, you know, come to be, like I still feel like, you know, I hope everyone in the cast at least got something out of it. So I feel okay. I feel okay. And to anyone who was not involved with it whatsoever and people who were, good luck in school. No. Good luck. Oh my god. You're gonna need it. No phone. Yeah.
I'm crying. That is all for this month's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I had a really fun time just working on it with Gumi. Again, thank you to everyone on the ZNT cast and staff that gave me such a welcoming experience, especially because I joined, I think I said in the video, like I joined kind of late to the server, but everyone was so kind. and it was very nice, and I'm so happy that I met so many nice people.